Hi there. This is Cindy Ricardo from WB Mindfulness. And today I wanted to continue this exploration of the Parami of Resolve and how that is connected to trust. And so, other words for resolve are determination or intention. And one of the most important things I heard today that really resonated with this resolve that we make to follow this path is the word trust. This is, I think, integral to this parami of resolve, that we begin to trust that this is a path that leads to wholesomeness, wholesome living. It leads to peace and ease within our mind and heart, no matter what's happening around us. And that might be hard to believe, right? Because sometimes things can be so challenging. And the truth is that we end up um, taking refuge in things that don't really help us to connect with peace or with ease. In fact, sometimes we take refuge in the worry or in the chaos that's happening around us. We get pulled into it. We believe the stories or the thoughts that we have in our minds. And that just takes us further and further away from this path. So, along with trust, we're beginning to trust in something. We're beginning to trust in the opposite of the things that we usually trust in. We begin to trust in love. We begin to trust in kindness and compassion. We trust in understanding, and we trust in the truth that home is here rather than in the outside, in some external thing, um, like money or uh, addictions or any of these false refuges that Tara Brach talks about. So trust, and part of trusting is these. We need to have some kind of a guideline that helps us to follow this path. And so, in on this path, we talk about the 5 precepts and how they help us to stay aligned with our values or with what matters most to the heart. Another word for precepts might be guidelines for non-harming. I like the word non-harming because I think it's something that all of us can relate to. And in many ways, we create harm for ourselves and harm for others. And not just humans, we create harm for animals and for the world around us. And this is not said in a judgmental way. A lot of times, this is unintentional because we're not really aware of how our actions have a ripple effect and how they affect everything around us. So, pausing here and asking you to connect with a moment in your life where there was something challenging that was happening, and you might close your eyes to do this exploration. So, closing your eyes and connecting, bringing yourself to that place where you were when the challenge was arising. And can you pause and notice as you remember this time or this situation? Can you notice how the mind reacts to this memory? So maybe there are a lot of thoughts that come up, thoughts of judgment, of blame, could be blame towards yourself. So these beliefs that arise automatically when there is something that happens that takes us away from the compassionate heart, from understanding. And then as that belief exists in the mind, can you drop down into the body and notice how the body responds to that belief? Maybe the breath becomes more shallow. Maybe there's tension somewhere in the body, in the shoulders, the hands, the throat, the heart. It's It's really important that as we explore with this wanting to help, wanting to be present for what's happening without judging what's arising. And then noticing what happens in the heart. Does the heart armor up? Is there a contracted feeling in the heart? A kind of closing off? So we recognize what's arising without judgment. It might be fear, or maybe it's some other emotion. And then we can allow it to be there. We might not like it, but we can allow it to be there. And it might be like a phrase: this is fear, this is worry, giving it space. And that might be just by breathing in and breathing out. And then we investigate what's happening in the mind, the body, and the heart. Can we bring kindness and compassion to that? Can we come home to this heart? And then taking a breath in and out and coming back here. So, resolve is a commitment we make to ourselves and to be present for whatever's arising in our life in a way that is healing and that restores a sense of balance, a sense of not being swept away into a story or reactivity. And I encourage you to practice with this. So, this trusting in this practice that leads us back to home, leads us back to this heart, this compassionate heart, and the wise mind. And there's more to say about this, and I'll talk about that in another video. That will be on the precepts, these guidelines that help us to stay on the path of non-harming. But for today, thank you for listening and for practicing with me. And I encourage you to join our Sangha on Thursdays from 11 to 11:45 and on Sundays from 9:30 to 11. It's a very warm and welcoming community where we continue to explore the many different aspects of this transformative and healing path. So I thank you for your attention and welcome you to join us. Thank you.